Vula amehlo ujonge noba akululanga takazivukile boma bumanga izakhono zakho neziphiwo zakho azuphelelanga boma bumanga sizokhanyisela ibe mhlophe indlela izophumilanga izandikhumbuze boma bumanga.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be discussing the reasons why we left South Africa to come live in the UK. Michelle's going to explain a whole lot of things because, to be honest with you, she's the main reason why we left. So Michelle, over to you.
Over to you. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about why we moved to the UK. It's not something that we actually planned. We had this goal as like a couple or as a family. We say, okay, we're gonna pursue moving to the UK or anything. Like, it was really God ordained and his next step for us, I guess, through me and my profession, but it's really been great for him as well because we're in the UK, the land of football. To
be honest with you, I did know that I'd end up in the UK. I just thought it would be signing for Liverpool, as a youngster.
As a youngster, I think in our previous video he did mention that he dreamed of playing in the Premier League. So I guess this is a way of that dream being realized, I guess. But yeah,
different facets.
But at the time when this opportunity came about and came to me, I was really in an unhappy space career-wise. I just come back from maternity leave and was really going through that work. Things were just not working out with the people that I was reporting to, and it was just mentally and emotionally draining, and it was just affecting how I showed up as well at home as a wife and a mom. And I just also felt like I was also missing out on my daughter's milestones because I couldn't be as present with her, trying to impress those at work, but they were not seeing my efforts. I even remember a time when Amma was in hospital and she struggled with bronchitis. It was really tough because I was with her in hospital as a mom, of course, and even there in that space I was still stressing about work. But I think what really made me feel like, okay, I can't be in this job anymore, was coming back from that and being called in for a performance meeting, based on the fact that it wasn't like I was way too long despite my daughter being sick, which was so ridiculous for me. And that was just like, okay, because I was really trying my best to hold on to the job, like, oh my gosh, let me hold on, and just see it through and toughen it out. But and I think I needed that push from that situation for me, because the UK opportunity came through LinkedIn, through another colleague or someone who was in my, I don't know what you call them, friends or connections on LinkedIn. It was like, hey, they're recruiting for the UK at this big 4 firm. Please apply. They're asking for people who are qualified to apply. So initially, I think I saw that earlier on, probably weeks before the situation at work happened. I was like, I didn't even mention it to Anele. And then after that situation happened, I saw that message again on my LinkedIn. And I'm not someone who frequents LinkedIn. It's one of those apps I forget, to be honest. But I saw it again, and then I approached Anele about it. And I was like, hey, do you think I should pursue this? I mean, it didn't really have to materialize into anything. I mean, this is a huge opportunity to pursue. It's not like it's automatic. They're not handing the job to you on a silver platter, to be honest. It's like a whole process, a very lengthy process at that. Because this opportunity came about in 2022. 2022. It was quite a long time. It's not like going for an interview now. You have an interview. It was a long process. So I approached him like, because if anything was to materialize from this, it wasn't going to just change my life. You know, I wasn't a single girl just pursuing an opportunity. I was a married woman with a child, with a whole family. So I needed to speak to him about it. And I was really okay with him not being okay with it because it's a huge change. It's a huge move. I mean, he didn't have to agree or want to move to another country. But I was like, hey, I'm thinking of pursuing this, but how do you feel about it? Yeah. And how did you feel about it? So that you can speak a bit as well.
No. For me, it was very exciting finding out that because when we started our relationship, I was very focused on ensuring that I improve every aspect of her, you know. I was not content with being in a relationship where one is performing and growing and the other is being suppressed as a result or just stagnant. So I purposed in my heart, and I always ensured her since we were kids that, hey, I want to be a partner who supports you and who elevates you, helps you elevate, and I want you to reach your dreams. And she told me when we were very young that she wants to be a chartered accountant. I didn't know what that was, but I knew it was a very important thing, especially in my community, you know. When you mention that someone is a chartered accountant, we knew, those were the brainy people, my distinction I ate, you know.
Wow.
And so I purposed in my heart that I want to be there for her. I want to support her, and I want to help her actually achieve her dream, you know. And so when this finally came about, it was quite blindsided because we were really just starting our life. We were starting our lives as parents, and it was a new thing, and we're learning how to be parents because we've never had kids before. This was our first child for both of us, and with her it was a lot better because like we said earlier, she's the firstborn, and the gap between her and her siblings, especially her sisters, is quite a lot, eh? What's the gap between you and your youngest sister?
So Abigail and I have so that's my youngest sibling, my youngest sister. I have a 16-year age gap.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you can imagine when she was 16, Abigail was being born, and she was taking care of her as well.
Yeah, but actually Abigail was born 9 months after we started dating. Anyway, I know. Fun fact.
Yeah. So you see, so you got an opportunity then to
kind of
have a newborn around you, understand what's going on. With me, my sister had a child, which is my nephew, Asanda. To be honest with you, she had him when I was also a very young kid, you know. I was in primary school, and so I was never really in tune with babies. All I knew is that my sister would send me a lot to get her my puffs while she was pregnant. She was addicted to puffs. So that was my way of supporting her during the pregnancy. But when the child was there, they never left me with the baby. Of course, I was pretty young as well. I was like in grade 8, and so it was a new experience for me. I even tell people my story that in hospital she had a C-section. So after they took the baby out, they couldn't give to her because they were still busy operating. So the pediatrician just wiped the baby and then handed me the baby and was like, do you want to carry her? And I told her, I was like, deep down, I want to carry her. but I honestly don't know how. And so I had to be coached there, you know.
You just see them now, the best of friends.
Yeah, I had to be coached how to hold my child as a newborn, and had to be coached really how to raise a child, which was a new experience for me. So when this opportunity of England came about, it was quite worrying because we had family. Both the grandparents are alive, both sides, and they are our siblings, you know. So Amava's aunties and uncles who are very hands-on and very close, and we live within the same proximity because she's from Tanot and I'm from Pollack Park, which is about less than 10 kilometers away, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very close space. We're a very close family, and so it hurts that, hey, now we're about to leave all of this environment where we got a lot of good coaching, a lot of encouragement, a lot of support, and we're gonna go to an environment where it's just you and I. And not that I didn't have confidence in her and also myself, but you know, it's just a sad experience to think about, just to not even pursue it, just thinking about it.
Yeah, but you're getting ahead now,
family,
because in the moment when I was like just speaking about the opportunity, I think you were just excited, like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
that was England. I mean, all of this now is being spoken in hindsight.
Yeah.
this is 2020 hindsight, you know.
Yeah, well, I feel that it was the only obstacle that could arise, really, because when you look at other things, with me, I didn't have permanent jobs. All my jobs are part-time, you know, so I'd renew my contracts every year. So my lecturing contracts, I would always renew them every year. And so I never had a permanent job, a long-term commitment, really. But I did pretty well with my job, so it was almost like guaranteed. It was almost guaranteed that I would have a job for the next year to teach whatever module they require me to teach at that time, you know, for both institutions. So yeah, so I was very excited, and the only obstacle was family. But for her, I mean, I was thinking, wow, this is growth. You're going to another country, you're already experiencing the troubles or problems that you were having at work, where she wasn't really happy anymore. And I didn't like that, you know. I didn't like it. It just hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Because you know, she's a very happy person. And
really?
yes.
He's always teasing me that I'm not.
She's a very happy person who likes being grumpy, but a happy person. And so during that period, it was very evident that she was experiencing a lot of stress, and we didn't like that. I didn't like that, and so when she came up with this, I was very happy for her, and I knew that it was something that God had brought about, and I was confident that it was going to be a successful thing. Yeah, and then I'll stop there then without going further into family and everything, like I already
gone into a lot of detail, but
yeah.
I'm just speaking like, yeah, he wasn't happy with me being at the job that I was at, because when we spoke about this UK opportunity, I, in the midst of that and me starting to pursue that, I got called to interview for another local job, right? While still at this other job that was now proving to be very toxic for me. And I was telling him that, oh my goodness, if this UK thing works out, you know, maybe it's just best I just stick it out at this current job, which is not great, but I mean, it'll just be for another few months, not knowing how long the process is, honestly, like I said, with pursuing an international opportunity. But I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like, oh my goodness, it's not fair for me to go to this new company and then be there for a short time, and then tell them that I have to leave, when I can just stick it out at this job, right? That's how I felt. But thankfully, he pushed me to leave. He was like, no, because the other local job that was pursuing me while I was still going through the process of the UK opportunity was paying a lot more. And I had such a wonderful interview process there. Yeah, he knows I've spoken about that company so much. It's the company I worked at right before we moved to the UK, and you know, it was a really short time, not because hated the place, but yeah, it was actually my absolute favorite job. I loved that company so much. Loved my boss. I still love her so much. She's so amazing. I loved my team. I'm not going to mention her by name, it's fine. But yeah, I really loved working there, and I needed to go to that company. I mean, there's still reasons why that I don't understand. I'm like, okay, God, why did you place me here for such a short time? But I think initially what I discovered, especially when I moved here, is that it was so necessary and crucial for my confidence, because my confidence was broken down so much at the toxic job that I was at. And I needed to be in that job where they valued me and, you know, they cared for my opinions and my input was valid, and like I made an impact. In the short time I was there, I made such an impact, and it gave me the confidence now moving to this country, taking my little family along, not knowing how things are going to be here, but it gave me the confidence to then give my best here. But yeah, without getting too ahead, I pursued the UK opportunity and went through the process. It's a lengthy process of interviews, first phone interviews, and then actual physical interviews. But while going through that UK opportunity where I'm working now, another UK opportunity approached me in the process.
The thing with her is God always has alternatives for her.
Yeah.
And when she start feeling a little unhappy or in a certain place,
Yeah, he's like, okay,
God just produces some options.
There's this quote, "Unkulunkulu akafuni niks ngam."
Yeah.
I feel like God doesn't want anything snacks ngam. I'm not perfect, of course, and I fail him daily, but yeah, he really he came through for me, hey. So I interviewed for both, which was like, wow, you know, two big four firms. So in accounting and auditing, they're like the big four firms of the world, basically. They're everywhere. So I was interviewing for both of them, which was initially very overwhelming. I did have a breakdown at some point in typical me fashion. Like I've had breakdowns along my CA journey, but still God came through, and I ended up being offered both positions, which was incredible. And then we had to decide which one. Do we go to Southampton, which was the other option, or do we come to Manchester, which is where we are now? So I ended up going with this opportunity, particularly because I just loved how their package catered for moving with my family, whereas the other one didn't, even though the salary was higher. They also catered for, or they also offered me an opportunity to work in an industry that I didn't work in, which I had always wanted to work in secretly, and I didn't have the opportunity to work in because I, you know, did my articles in a very small firm, and they didn't have those areas or expertise for me to learn and develop myself. So I just thought, as I'm newly qualified, if I still qualify as that, I'm not money hungry, which I really appreciate about myself, and I hope I hold on to. And I just wanted to be able to grow in my career, and like have opportunities and different things to look at. Yeah.
I think one thing that we didn't touch on, that I think was also important in this entire process, is the fact that this was not the first time an opportunity to move to the UK came up.
Actually,
so she's
That's
now
so
forgotten
true.
the past.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, because she had another interview with another company
the
previous year.
I was pregnant with them. I think it was like 5 months pregnant.
Yeah. And so I started telling my friends, hey, gents, I'm going to Southampton. And that interview didn't go well for her. And it did crush us, but I think it was very necessary. The timing probably wasn't ideal. I think we needed to have our child close to the family, to the extended family as well, you know, so that they can have access to her. Whereas when we're here now, it's very hard for them to come see us.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that was a smaller firm, a much smaller firm. And I guess God's no. At the time, it was like, oh, why? And, you know, I was sad about it and stuff. But looking at what happened the following year and the companies that then approached me and both offered me jobs, it was just like, okay, I get it. I see what you were doing. Which, I mean, even after that rejection, I don't think it was now like, oh, let's pursue the UK. I was just very accepting. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I found a local job and moved on. But I think that's just really important to trust God. Like, okay, it wasn't meant to be, and I wasn't consumed by it, thankfully. It was disappointing. It was very disappointing because we were quite excited and hopeful. But we were also okay with it. And like Anile has mentioned, I think it was good for our daughter to experience the time she had with family, even though she might not remember it. I made sure to document it very thoroughly, but we needed that initial support greatly, and just to experience that, and just for her to also experience home a bit. But yeah, so then I chose the opportunity that brought us here into Manchester. Just looking down at my notes, guys. And the visa process was really smooth, but it's quite extensive either way, because there's just a lot you have to prepare. It's not just an automatic, oh, okay, you got a UK job, now you move to the UK. I mean, if we go into those details, they had issues. We had issues with my mother's passport, which was taken to another province. It was a whole thing. Even their visas, the UK visas, when they eventually came out, there were like errors with them and they had to go back, so we had to delay the start dates. But yeah, eventually everything came together and we moved to the UK, and yeah, it's been amazing. And I think one of the things I remember and I wanted to mention in this video is that the previous year, so like last year, I know there was a time when I was driving home from work and I was thinking about this man's 30th, right? His 30th birthday. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's his 30th, because I'm very big on milestone birthdays. He loves teasing me about it, but I am very big on milestone birthdays. And I was like, oh, it'd be so nice if I could do something really nice for his birthday. And my wildest thought was like, oh Lord, if I could take him to the UK and then for him to like maybe see his team live or something. And then fast forward, if you follow me on my socials, you know that for his 30th birthday, I took him to his stadium, the stadium of his favorite team. I don't even know if you call it favorite team. It's like
his family.
Exactly. Like, it's so deep for him. But we went to Liverpool Stadium and he got a tour of everything, and it was just like amazing.
Yeah.
Within our first month there, and that was really special that I was able to do that for him.
Yeah.
Like for his 30th.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was really amazing. And
So
we're staying in Manchester, where the two noisy neighbors, the blue side and the red side, are so noisy and so intimidating here for a Liverpool fan. But I'm here, guys, and I'm representing Liverpool. You'll never walk alone, and we should have dumped them, but it's okay.
Yes.
We'll talk about all of that.
Talk, but yeah. So yeah, we're here in the UK now. I think there's probably more videos we'll go into about our experience so far, challenges, ups, downs, so much that you can be said, like the cost of living, things we've experienced, the job market. Because I mean, also we in another video would have to speak about Anile's experience since being here, what are his career plans, etc. And what we initially decided that we didn't dive into, I think, early on in the video, because we had a chat about that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that.
All that detail.
Future videos, because there's just a lot that can be said, and how our daughter's finding it, the lows we've experienced, the highs, so much. But overall, it's been a beautiful experience, and we're so grateful.
Yeah.
Extremely grateful, and it's actually brought us closer together. I think there was, even with our parents, I remember my mom in love, being concerned, like just making sure that we hold on to each other, because I mean, if you're to fight and you just wanna there's no one you can really run to, because we don't have anyone here. We just have each other. But yeah, God has been gracious there, that actually our communication has gotten even better. and we just communicate a lot and we lean onto each other a lot. Also, our daughter watches our relationship. Hey, she watches our marriage. Like and she has this thing of wanting to put us together, like, because she'll see, like, when we're, especially in high spirits, we'll kiss each other goodbye or whatever. So she notices that and she watches that, and she'll try and do that. And sometimes she's done it when I'm feeling umuntu, like, ugh. Like, ugh.
Oh.
And then you realize, and she notices it, and you're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to fix this at some point, because she's not understanding. Why are you not kissing my dad right now? Or why, like, what's happening? What is this weirdness going on? So that has also put us in check to be like, okay, we have to be united, because we have a little one who really depends on us being united.
Yeah, no, your kids will. Your kids will teach you how to be in love.
They will. If not,
like
even if things are not okay, sorry to go off topic, we're ending the video now, but even when things are not okay, like, her behavior is also so different. It's so obvious that, yeah, she can sense that there's something not right here, and she will give us hell for it. But we love her for that. Yeah, she really reminds us that it's bigger than us. It's really bigger than us. And that's why we even have this YouTube channel. It's bigger than us. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, guys, we'll give you more details about our experience in England and even our experiences in South Africa. A whole lot of videos are still to come. I think the one big thing that we cannot leave out in this video is that this place is cold. Oh! Yeah.
If you could see, we're sitting in front of the heater. And then he's even wearing socks. He's wearing socks.
This place is cold.
I'm not wearing socks because, but I'm here by the heater.
It's our first winter in the UK. And yeah,
it's really
cold.
And we've just gotten through flu. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
The whole house was down with flu.
Yeah.
But here we are, able to shoot these videos now without too much, because there's still remnants of it.
Okay, let's end the video.
But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in our next video, and take care.
Bye.